Welcome back. As the 2020 Democratic field keeps growing, it's Bernie Sanders versus everyone else. It certainly looks like what the lanes look like to us right now. He's out to the left of the party on a number of big policy issues like free college, breaking up big banks, and single-payer health care. But even so, a number of high-profile presidential candidates are acting like they're either afraid of him or of his supporters or just going against what Bernie stands for. Look no further than Medicare for All, something that would traditionally be far to the left of the Democratic Party. But when he reintroduced the bill today, 4 of his 2020 opponents quickly jumped on board as co-sponsors. Folks, Democrats were elated when it appeared President Trump was going to try to make health care a major issue in his 2020 reelection. But now they have to decide how to navigate the debate within their own party. Do they rally around the Sanders plan? Do they fight to strengthen Obamacare? Something voters overall appear to be much more in favor of. And of course, all this gets even more confusing depending on who the nominee is. Well, somebody whose state cares a lot about this health care issue is Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Senator Manchin, it's been a while, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, Chuck,
Appreciate
how you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm all right. Let me start with the idea of Medicare for All. I have an idea of where you are on this issue. But in a perfect world, is this something that if you thought it were feasible, you would try to help make happen?
Chuck, in a perfect world, we should be sitting down looking at every options we have before us and every idea a person has. How do we get affordable care, affordable, really reliable care to every American? That's in a perfect world. Chuck, we can't even pay for Medicare for some that already have it. We're going to be insolvent by 2026. Don't you think we ought to fix that? We got Affordable Care Act being attacked ever since it's been introduced. 56 times, I think, they voted to repeal it. And
right.
Chuck, the sad scenario about this is Mitch McConnell's had 2 bills on his desk, bipartisan bills, on his desk for over a year and a half that would fix the problems that we've identified in basically the high cost to the people that aren't qualifying for any of the subsidies or the exchange.
Let me ask you this. They
won't even fix what we've got, and they want to talk about something hypothetical.
Well, I was just going to say,
sense.
The Affordable Care Act has never been fully implemented.
It's been trying.
Right, but it hasn't been fully implemented. We don't have the expanded Medicaid. We don't know if it's going to work or not work per se. Where are at what point do you decide where the affordable? At what point do you decide to scrap a system before you fully implement
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm not voting to scrap it because is it the bill I would have voted for? I can't say that, Chuck. I would have tried everything I can to change the mandate, to give more of a market-driven system there on mandates as buying insurance. I wasn't here then when that happened. I've got what I've got in front of me. I am not going to sit back. I am not going to sit back without a fight and allow people for the first time who've got insurance without trying to educate them how to use it. Much more effective, much more cost-effective, much more health-wise effective. We're not doing anything to try to help people live a better quality of life, Chuck, but we're going to say we're going to take it away, you're abusing it, and you're too costly. We got people for the first time in West Virginia getting care now for mental illness, getting care for opiate addiction. You want to throw all them off? I got 800,000 West Virginia pre-existing conditions. You want them to go back basically and saying, well, the insurance company's in charge of your life. And I got people in West Virginia used to tell me all the time, I don't want to be a burden to my family, Joe. What they're saying, Chuck, we can't afford it and it'll bankrupt it. Let the good Lord do what he's going to do with me.
What do you make?
Chuck, we're better than that.
Well, I'm just curious. Let me ask you a politics question here.
Okay.
The Democratic presidential primary, I feel like the health care question does sort of allow us to really find out which side of this that they're on. We know where Bernie is, and you have the 4 Democratic colleagues of yours that have endorsed it: Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Kirsten Gillibrand, and Elizabeth Warren. Notably, there's a whole group of Democrats running who are basically saying, let's do a Medicare stopgap. Maybe it's Medicare X, it's a public op, whatever you will kind of name it, but it's Obamacare with extra help. Is that where you sit? Is that the lane you'd rather be in?
I don't know what lane to put me in. I don't know if I'm in the passing lane, I'm in the park lane, or the reverse lane, because people are all over the board. They're going to do anything they can, I guess, right now, moving with the winds. These are all my friends. I have the utmost respect for all of them. But the bottom line is I'm a very pragmatic person. I've got a problem. The Texas court has ruled. The Fifth Circuit's going to rule. It might go to the Supreme Court. I'm concerned, is Attorney General Barr going to enforce the law if it's struck down by the courts that it is constitutional and this is the law of the land? These are the things I'm fighting in front of me. I don't know why they can't. We can talk about all this. I've said, listen, bring everybody in. Let's have something that we have substantial. I got every hospital in West Virginia concerned, scared to death. I got every rural clinic, Chuck, scared to death that they can't make it. You unravel this thing, and I'll tell you, there's no going back. You're not putting the genie back in this bottle.
I guess the question is there a weird, perverse hope for bipartisanship here, which is as you have a liberal alternative in Medicare for All sitting out there that Bernie Sanders wants to set up, and you suddenly have Republicans singing the praises of Obamacare, which is kind of ironic, and we can discuss that at a later date, that suddenly there is a coalition of the willing here to improve Obamacare?
I would think so. You would think sooner or later, when John McCain, God rest his soul, when John McCain voted no that night we were all there and you watched it happen, John McCain wasn't voting to save Obamacare. He was voting because he knew we could fix it. We showed John all day long, John, here's the bills we can't get Mitch to move on. And this is a bipartisan effort. John was everything about fixing problems, big policy problems, bipartisan. That's why John voted no. Now we're going through all of this again. Maybe once we get through the court system, and we might as well probably end up going clear to the Supreme Court, Chuck, there is no doubt that I think they're going to lose. Right. They are going to lose because this is constitutional. We did not wipe out. I voted against what they did, but with that tax bill, they did not wipe out the intent or the law. They wiped out basically the funding mechanism, but it can always come back.
Very quickly, do you have an idea of how you're going to make your decision about who you endorse for president?
You know, there's so many good people here, but let me just say something. Joe, you know, you've got a proven in Joe Biden. And the reason I say you have a proven, here's a man that has relations all around the world. He understands international policy. And Joe's going to be formidable. And you can see people are looking past just the primary going into the general election. Who can be formidable? Who can hit the ground running? Who doesn't have to have on-the-job training? So Joe's going to be formidable. So we'll have to wait and see if he gets in. But these are all good people with great intentions, and I applaud all of them for having the desire to get out and hit the trail around this great country, and God bless them all.
Well, I guess that's Joe's for Joe's there. I'm teasing. Joe Manchin, Democrat from West Virginia, a once and future gubernatorial candidate, perhaps. Who knows?
Well,
we're always watching. Senator, good to see you,
Chuck,
sir.
Thank you, buddy. Let's get
Thanks
together.
for coming
Bye-bye.
on. Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.